What's happening, people? I hope you're all well. So, Daniel Dubois, he gets the win. Shout out to Aaron, who's out there in Saudi Arabia as well. And back to that fight, me and Aaron were going back and forth like, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Who's going to win? And in the end, I said that Miller was going to win and make Dubois quit. And Aaron was saying, nah, Daniel Dubois is going to win early. We were both wrong, but ultimately shout out to Aaron because he got the prediction right in terms of who's going to win. What really happened in this fight was Jarrell Miller did what he normally does, but with less intensity. You see, since Jarrell Miller's come back, he's not quite been the same. I want to just say though, Jarrell Miller has a head made of iron. Like his chin is granite. Um, his chin is granite. Jarrell Miller, I don't know if he was on time before and he's not now. Or I don't, all of that aside, he has got a granite chin. He proved that, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if he had a granite chin, as people were saying, because I was looking and thinking, what punches has he been in with? Then he got in with Lucas Brown's like, okay, maybe. And then he fought Daniel Dubois, who's a certified puncher, and he proved it. But either way, the main credit goes to Daniel Dubois. Jarrell Miller looked to be doing what Jarrell Miller does, breaking his opponents down. He came out circumspect in round one, and as I'm not, it's not out. I'm not great. I'm not surprised he did that. Daniel Dubois got on his boxing, and I really thought Dubois can't keep this up. It's gonna go exactly how I thought it. Like Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois almost did every. It looked like he was doing everything you should not do against Jarrell Miller. Using too much energy on the back foot early, you're gonna tire out. Body language weren't looking great. Jarrell Miller's gonna catch up with you. But Jarrell Miller couldn't walk his opponent down with the same intensity that he used to. And I actually think Daniel Dubois got Jarrell Miller's respect quite early on in the fight with hard jabs, with right hands. And Jarrell Miller, although he's got the chin, he kind of thought, I can't just walk through this guy. Or I can do it, but only in spots. And that's what happened. So what really happened in this fight was because Jarrell Miller got started to respect Daniel Dubois' power, because Jarrell Miller didn't have the intensity of old, he was doing the same style, but not with the same intensity needed to break Dubois down, and he didn't break Dubois down. And Dubois was racking up rounds, and I was just thinking, I thought this was a 12-round fight. I looked at it as a 10-round fight, and I was thinking, Jarrell Miller's got to get going because this isn't enough. And eventually, it got to the point where it's round 9. I'm thinking Jarrell Miller needs a knockout because he's walking him down. Yeah, cool, but it's too late in the day, and then it got to a point where Daniel Dubois is ahead. Daniel Dubois was hurting Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller looked a bit, I wouldn't say intimidated, but he had certainly respected Dubois' power. It got to a point where his last round he needed a knockout. And I could just tell by, there was no mustard on Jarrell Miller's punches. Daniel Dubois was the sharp shooter in there. And I thought, Daniel Dubois, if anything, he might even stop Jarrell Miller. And he did. I mean, I don't know about the stoppage. Jarrell Miller was kind of hurt, but I don't think, he could have let it continue, the ref. But, it doesn't change the result. But obviously, it now goes down as a stoppage defeat. And I don't think Jarrell Miller was ever going to stop that happening. I think that Daniel Dubois did legitimately hurt Jarrell Miller in that last round. But I think that he wasn't hurt to the point where he couldn't have carried on. That's my opinion. But either way, it's all elementary because Daniel Dubois wins the fight. And I'm pleased. I don't know the guy, but I'm happy for the guy because he quit twice. He went up against someone where, in my mind, the writing's on the wall. If you're a quitter, or if you've quit twice, I don't want to call him a quitter because these are professional prize fighters. I fight at a lower level, so I know what it's about to a degree, and I know it's no easy feat to go in there and have someone take your head off, try and take your head off. But Dubois, he has quit twice. He's going in there against someone who, if you have a propensity to quit in fights, that's the worst style for you. And he came out on top. So I'm pleased for him. I'm also pleased because Jarrell Miller was using disparaging language towards Dubois in the build up to the fight. And now he kind of had to eat that humble pie. So I'm happy for Daniel Dubois. Jarrell Miller, he does have my respect because he does have a chin. He did show heart. He didn't quit. when the going got tough, but he just didn't have enough. He didn't have the intensity. He didn't have the output. It just looked like maybe slightly a shell of his former self. So Daniel Dubois gets the win. I'm looking forward to the rest of the card. You're tuned into the J&J podcast. I'm going to be live streaming. Aaron is out there doing his thing at the actual venue. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video.